Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome to another game analysis. Today I'm gonna actually analyze a game played by Power Drone, spawning as our hero Zerg in the bottom left corner of Frost Alley. And his opponent rather, is going to be none other than Deadpool, but we're really quickly gonna hide them. Actually, yep, there we go. We don't want to see Deadpool. He's a Protoss player. We don't want to see that. We don't really want to see that, right? Anyway, it's going to be a Zerg versus Protoss. Now, Power Drone is a subscriber on Twitch TV, and that is why I'm analyzing this game. So if you want me to analyze your game next time around, make sure to check out the links right below that like button in the description below, and maybe I'll be analyzing your replay next time around, and you know, that'd be pretty awesome, right? That'd be pretty awesome. So let's see what happens, okay? Let me actually get the message or the email that he sent me right here. He said there are 3 reasons. Oh, actually, no, that's the wrong one. Hold on. Okay, here we go. He said, so I went for Jan's Roach Hydra Viper style. Okay, that is a pretty standard one, right? Roach Hydra Viper, we are all pretty, pretty familiar with that. And then it says, I just got against the composition of the Protoss player that I didn't know what I should do against. Well, we will actually figure it out together what we can do against that a little bit better. Okay, let's split this one up. We're first gonna take a look at this game at a pretty fast pace, and hopefully I'll be able to tell you what I would change up instead in order to play this a little bit more safely. Now, first off, this is the first thing I would change out. If you're gonna go for such a greedy third hatchery on this map, you really need to verify that it is going to be a Nexus first. Or at least a Forge Fast Expand, right? Now, it turns out in this case that this is going to be a good choice, but I would be a bit more careful if you don't really know anything about a Protoss player. Maybe go for a Drone Scout or just straight up delay this base slightly, okay? Let's have a look. Now, keep in mind, Power Drone is a Platinum level Zerg player, meaning that it is going to be pretty high level of play, but there's probably still going to be a couple of things we would like to change out. So gas geysers, a little bit earlier than I would go get them, about a half minute earlier, but it's all okay. Going for a pretty safe roach farm right there. And it's still droning up. I do like this. The droning up is so important. Lair going down, Gobble Evo going down, but we are so blind. We are so blind. Right now we haven't even scouted anything yet. Did we even see a Protoss unit? Besides like the scouting probe? We did not. Now, we did manage to get in here, more gateways going down. Okay, let's see what the response is. Looks like +1/+1 is still going up, Macro Hatchery is still going up, and Roach Speed is being started right now as well. But, do we know anything? Like, would this have worked versus like a standard 4 gate? Or like a standard 7 gate all-in, or an 8 gate all-in? I would not think so. So, this is the point where I would get a little bit hesitant by your playstyle. What I would change up is not follow a build order this directly. You actually send me a message of exactly what build order you're using, and you're probably trying to read that off of like a second monitor or something, but you need to always think that build orders are no more than guidelines. You need to adjust build orders by whatever you scout, okay? Let's see right now that we saw triple Stargate go down right there. Let's say these 3 buildings were Stargates. Would we still be making all of these roaches? Probably, because the build order says so, right? But right now, we don't know. Double Stargates are going down. We can't see them. Look, we can cheat a little bit. There's 2 Stargates going down, and we are completely blind. We do not know if there's a 3rd base. We do not know if we went for a Forge Fast Expand. We don't know what our opponent is up to, and I would be extremely careful with that. Now, it might actually turn out to be decent in this game. And it might work out this time around because the scouting just, wasn't really necessary because our opponent is playing so standard. But in most games, you really need to be scouting. So a couple of quick timings I can give you. Make sure that you scout right around the 9-minute mark whether or not there's a 3rd base up. 9 to 9.5 minutes is the standard time for a 3rd base for Protoss, okay? Keep that in mind. Just always have a look at the 3rd base right around 9 to 9.5 minutes. Between 6 to 6.5 minutes is when you want to be flying an overload that is right there into the main base and into the natural, and an overload that is right there, fly that into the main base and into the natural. So you can actually see exactly what your opponent is doing. Also, another very important thing to know right now is to simply just take the watchtowers. What is the investment of taking a watchtower? It's 25 minerals, okay? The Zergling costs 25 minerals. If a Protoss player wants to take a watchtower, he's gonna sacrifice like half of his freaking army. Let's have a look at how many units he has. He actually has 1 Zealot, 1 Stalker, and 1 Sentry. So half of his army is not even a exaggeration right now. You really want to be defending the towers all the time. So that is as far as my run goes. Let's keep on going and let's have a look at what's happening. So right now we made a couple of units, then we made a couple of drones, and then we made a couple of units, and then we made a couple of drones. Now we're investing into an infestation pit, a Hydralisk den, +2/+2, and a fort base. Now, right now, do we even know that there's a third base? No, we're getting a fort base right now without even knowing there's a third base. So, Power Drone, what you really want to try and do is scout. Let's say right now there's 3 Zealots walking right there. Would we be able to see that? No. Let's say our opponent is moving around the map right now with a Colossus timing. Keep in mind, the first Colossus can come out right around 11 minutes. He could have right around 3 Colossus at your doorstep right now, and that's all you have. So there's really absolutely no reason whatsoever to not have watchtowers, to not have vision of his third base, and to not fly in Overlords. You really need to start doing that. Now this time around, it looks like it is going to work out. Hydras are in production, Vipers are in production, fort base is done. I'm not really mining from that either. So the fort base timing is a little bit interesting as well. I mean, it's not really doing all that much. But let's see what happens, okay? In the production tab, we can see that Tempests are in production. Could we have known that? Yes. Let's see what happens. Looks like the Protoss actually decided to donate a couple of free units, which is very sweet of him. But it looks like our hero Zerg is gonna move out very shortly, okay? Here we go. Gonna move across the map. And we see Tempest. Okay, well, now we're like, okay, shit, what do? We don't really have anti-air. I mean, we got Hydras in here, but Hydras are pretty strong, but only if our opponent miss micros, right? So let's see what happens right here. I think things are just going to go completely awful with this unit composition just being way too strong. Now it looks like our opponent isn't microing. I mean, why would you micro if you cannot? But really, Power Drone, the one thing you want to make sure you do is scout. You might have gotten away to Platinum League without scouting at all, but from now on you definitely want to start scouting. We could have seen this, could have started the Double Spire much earlier, could have started these Infestors much earlier, could have started the Gas Guys much earlier, because we knew that there wasn't gonna be an attack anytime soon, and I think at that point you would have had a super easy time to actually win this. So once more, okay? 6 to 6.5 minutes is when you fly in your Overlords into the main base and into the natural at least, and you try and figure out exactly what the Protoss player is going for. Next up, right around 9 to 9.5 minutes is when you want to make sure you see the third base of your opponent. If you don't see it, gotta keep in mind there's a big chance he's gotta go for a 2 base all in. If we do see it, great, we can get our fort base and get these gases going. Next up, there is no reason to never ever have these watchtowers. You always want to try and get them. Even if the Protoss sends out a Stalker or a Zealot, just get a couple of Zerglings there, take out that Zealot and that Stalker and get that vision back. Also, another thing you could go for in the middle part of the game, these are just the 3 basics ones I would go for, so Zergling scouting and Overlord scouting and third base scouting. But other things that you could do is make Overseers and try and find out exactly what he's going for. And the last thing I would make sure you always keep in mind is that build orders are no more than guidelines and things you want to take with a little bit of a grain of salt, because you gotta make sure that if you're gonna play Roach Hydra Viper, you know that it's gonna be versus a standard Protoss army as well. I want to thank you guys all for watching. Have an amazing day. Hopefully this helped you out. If it did, let me know in that comment section right below that like button, and other than that, I'll see you again. Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome to a new StarCraft II Heart of the Swarm video. Today we're gonna go over